I'm Molly and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already clicked that subscribe button, please make sure you do. Now, as you can see, we're here to do a video on the MINI Aceman, which originally launched as a concept car back all the way in 2022. It came to production in April 2024 when it was officially launched, and then you started seeing them on the roads as of late 2024. We've got a great opportunity to be able to look around this particular MINI Aceman here today. Are we surprised that MINI stopped making the Clubman and then brought out the new model of the MINI Aceman? Not really, because MINI's style is not to have hundreds of models. Instead, they just give you lots of individual options and packages, which mean that you can configure the MINI exactly to your personalisation and specification. And that's kind of more their style than having loads of models in the range. So the MINI Aceman wasn't originally made to replace the Clubman, even though it arrived for launch shortly after MINI stopped the production of the MINI Clubman after 55 years. It's actually not quite as long as a Clubman, but it's not quite as big as a Countryman. It's actually based on the underpinnings of the MINI Electric, but extended the space between the front and rear wheels by 80mm. It may surprise you that even though the MINI opted to go for a crossover model in the MINI Aceman, that it decided to only offer in electric motor options. So the MINI Aceman E is available with 184 horsepower with a 42.5 kilowatt capacity battery, which gives you 192 miles and a 0 to 62 mile per hour of 7.9 seconds. This particular Aceman is the SE model, and we'll run through some of the specification in a moment, but that means it's got 218 horsepower with a battery capacity of 54.2 kilowatt capacity, which gives you a range of 251 miles and a 0 to 62 miles per hour of 7.1 seconds, which despite the weight of the vehicle is actually similar to a Cooper S petrol Clubman, if you want to compare similar-ish models maybe. So what you're probably thinking is, what's the price? Well, as of April 2025, which is when we're making this video, the prices were on a E MINI Aceman, it was 28,905. For a SE, it was 31,905, and for the John Cooper Works Aceman is 36,905. Now, if you weren't already aware, or if you're in a different country completely, you might not know that as of April 2025, the tax rules changed for EVs. So that means you have to be really careful with your John Cooper Works Aceman to not get it above that 40 grand tax bracket, otherwise you'll find yourself in the higher tax bracket. If you don't know and you're not from the UK, then that means that you'll pay a higher tax rate if your vehicle is over £40,000. It didn't used to apply to electric vehicles, but it now does. So this particular model is the SE, and it has the level 2 package, which as of April 2025 is £2,000. It gives you the option of Harman Kardon hi-fi system, a sunroof, but it's a non-opening sunroof, so it's just a glass sunroof with a blind on the interior, which you will notice when you sit in the car. I think is quite a nice option to have, because on this particular car you've got the cream interior seats, which I think are really nice, and they kind of brighten up the interior. I think if you had a dark coloured seat, didn't have the sunroof, then it'd definitely be quite a dark interior, and I think the roof would feel a lot lower than it does. And you get sun protection glass, which I don't know why they didn't include that as standard, if I'm completely honest. You can, for additional £700, get yourself a tow bar. Don't really know who's going to be towing with an electric car of this battery capacity, because I think you can pretty much say bye to your range, especially if you're going on a long journey. You do get as standard, which you don't pay for, which is very nice, whether it's an E, SE or John Cooper Works, you get a heated steering wheel, very nice for winter. Don't know why it's a heated steering wheel, you don't get heated seats, but still, at least it's something else you don't pay for. On the SE, you get the level 1 package as standard, which includes the really nice adaptive headlights. You get the comfort access, which of course your keyless entry. You get the interior rear view mirror auto dimming. You get heated front seats, high beam assist, along with wireless charging, which is actually a suitable size for most phones compared to the tidgy small armrests that MINI used to do before for wireless charging. Maybe wondering about the energetic silver kind of styling on the back here. You'll see some of that on the interior, and you'll see a really nice leather interior as well. That comes as part of the exclusive specification that this particular MINI Aceman is. So MINI haven't done away with that kind of specification, so you can still have a classic, exclusive and sport.
Being exclusive, this comes with the optional colour paint of indigo sunset blue metallic. Personally, I prefer the British Racing Green as the standard exclusive colour. Again, being the exclusive, it comes with 18-inch alloys as standard, but this has the upgraded 19-inch. On the exclusive, there's two interior options, one being the beige, which is very similar to the satellite grey on previous models, and then there's the dark petrol, which is very much a very blue colour.
So on an SE and upwards, you get a head-up display as standard, which is really nice because when you're driving, you can look ahead and you can of course see your speed. I have seen quite a few complaints on the internet because on an Aceman E, this is kind of the display where your speed and everything like that would come up. So as you're driving along, you'd be obviously, of course, glancing across to there to have a look at what your speed is. But you can opt as an option extra for the head-up display, of course. So when it comes to the interior, I read some articles by the designer that designed the Aceman, and they were trying to keep the kind of the simplified styling of the classic Minis and the original Minis when they came to designing them. So that's why they've kind of simplified the interior. They've also been influenced by the idea of sustainability. So for example, the interior or the dash is from recycled textiles and polyester that they've used on the interior. And then on the door cards, for example, they've integrated the speakers into the door cards. They've got rid of a lot of the chrome interior that you'll recognise from seeing in a lot of the Minis, for example, like on the R56s, the R53s, the F-shaped models. There was a lot of chrome all on the interior, around the cup holders and everything like that, all around the display. They've got rid of that completely on the interior. Even on the exterior, you can notice the element they've gone to. So for example, the headlight surrounds aren't there anymore on the front and the rear. So they've really thought about the sustainability and the choices on this particular model according to the designer and all the interviews that I've read. So let's have a look at this section of the car here. Now it's very similar. If you watched my Mini Electric video that I did a walk around on the Mini Electric at Minis and Milkshakes last year, the interior is pitched very much similar with the controls. So for example, they've got rid of the red toggle button on the Minis and instead you've got the power mode which you turn just here. They've got reverse, neutral, drive and park all central just on here within easy reach. So then you've got your Mini Experience modes, which again you might have seen in the Mini Electrics. You've got go-kart mode if you want to go quick. Just like with any Mini, they've really adapted the idea of that personalization, and as you can see, it gives you some really funky noises. So you've had a long stressful day at work, you get home, you park up on the drive, you're about to head into the chaos of your house, and you just want to have a minute to yourself. Then you can pop it in balance mode. And you're just in pure zen chill out mode. You just rest your eyes, listen to the noise of the birds. So I was quite surprised to learn that on Auto Car it was rated 3.5 stars, and on What Car it only got a 2-star rating. So that's quite interesting to see. So let's go for a drive and let's see what it actually feels like to us. Higher driving up position actually, which you get in this car, which is quite nice. And comfort wise, because you get the higher driving position, like when we're going down country lanes, actually feels really nice and like quite comfortable, to be honest. So I don't really have any complaints interior wise about driving. What do you think driving it, Tom?
It's very comfortable. It's nice to have a higher position, like you say, but yet still feels like a Mini that you can throw into a corner and you know it's going to stick.
Do you feel like you get any body roll when you go thing I've noticed, I keep going for the handle here, but the handle's down here. Right, so you've got your rapid charger, which is 50 kilowatts. So how that equates to the battery is we've got a 54 kilowatt battery in this, as it's the SE, and that means that just take just over an hour to charge if we use this one. And then if we use this one here, it's 7 to 22 kilowatts, and it's this connection here, so that does take slightly longer. So because we've got, again, a 54 kilowatt, it would take, because we've got a 54 kilowatt, it'd take around about 2.5 hours. So kind of when you're looking at charging, that's kind of what you're looking at. If you're charging, we're obviously here at Lidl, so it obviously costs more to charge using the rapid charger than it would, of course, the normal charger. That's just like a home charger. So if you're just charging AC like at home, you just take that one out, pop that one in, out, and then for the DC, again, you just take that out because it's the combination of both. Put that in, lock the car, and again, you can't take that out there. So if you're wondering how quiet are these new Mini electric cars, or what kind of noise are they going to make in the background? You have 300 litres of boot space with the folding boot floor in the bottom position. If you fold the 60-40 seats down, then you've got 1,005 litres of boot space. The rear seat bench doesn't move backwards and forwards, which you may have seen in previous Mini models, and that's just due to where the battery placement is in the boot. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share on any of your social media channels and make sure you click that subscribe button, as it is very much appreciated. Thank you so much. On the pacement, I said the word pacement. You get some motion that Tom's making. I don't know what the hell it is.
It's a steering wheel.
Individual option.
Do it again.
Let's wait a second. So you have 300 litres of boot space with boot. Me and Tom will give that. And you've got back home.
It's open again. Oh. There you go. Can let go, it'll go all the way.
What?
You can let go, it'll keep. Just tap it. Oh. I was mistaken.